What is going on, guys? I'm back on the mic today from Spectral Sound, and today we are going to be recreating the main lead sound from the song With You by Virtual Riot. This is what it sounds like. Now, this is a very accurate recreation of a very simple sound. If you want the MIDI notes, here they are. I know someone's going to ask for it down in the comments below. You can just read it off right here. There is no post-processing to the sound. It's all just in Serum, and this sound is it's a very, very simple sound to make. We're gonna start off with just a basic shapes. This is just gonna be a square wave, so you can put the wavetable position right in the middle. The level was at 75%. It can be anywhere you want, really. I'm just gonna add the sub oscillator later as a little layer, so you can kind of do that, level that according to whatever you put the sub oscillator at. The octave is up 1. It doesn't matter too much. That's just where I had the MIDI where it was. And it is going up with LFO 1. It's just going up 6. So just a little bit. And it's going to be switching octaves with this LFO 1 really quickly. I have it at 132. This is on BPM and on envelope mode. Envelope mode is it's very important. You have to have it on envelope mode. You don't want it on trigger mode. Otherwise, you'll get this sound. Sounds like a telephone or something. So no, you want to click it on envelope mode. You want to make this overall shape, and you want to make it really fast at 132. It doesn't have to be 1 to 32. That's just what I like to do it, and that'll make it sound like it's a pluck. That gives it that pluck sound that Virtual Riot likes to use a lot in his tracks. So that's what that's achieving right there. There is one other thing we're adding on, but that's going to be in the effects section. And then we're going to layer this with a sub. Now, some people may think that this isn't needed, and technically it is not needed. However, I like to just layer it with the triangle wave up 1 octave, so it's playing at the same thing. It just gives it a little more bottom end and a little more depth. It just makes it sound a little more full, and this is what it sounds like with the triangle wave. You can see just the triangle wave sounds like this. So really, we're just getting the lower harmonics, a little bit of the higher harmonics, but not nearly as much as we would with the square wave. That just, accentuates the fundamental tones of the square wave, so it's not up in not constantly in the high register. There is more going on in the midsection, makes it sound just a little bit thicker, even though this is a pretty thin lead. So the level for this is at 75%, and it is going direct out. That is all we have to do for this section. Let's pop into the effects section. We're going to throw on a little bit of hyperdimension. The mix is at 29 to 30%. Let me just bump it up to 30. There we go. And the dimension, we're going to be doing some kind of drastic dimension expanding here. We have 0%. However, the mix is at like 70. You can put it at 75. And this isn't doing too much to affect the sound. All it does is just add a little more width and a little more depth. And that's going to kind of vary the sound a little bit as it's going through the compression and distortion. So we're going to bump it through a compressor as well. This is going to be multi-band. All you have to do is turn the gain up to 11.7, and you don't have to mess with the threshold or anything else. It's really, most of this stuff is not necessary. However, it makes the lead sound a lot richer, and overall, it'll just blend better with any track that you use it in. This is what it sounds like after those two. And the multi-band compression did a lot. It made it a lot more powerful. It added a little more energy overall to the lead. The distortion, what we're doing here is something special that I like to do when I'm dealing with anything involving, just square waves and odd harmonics. What I'm doing is I'm adding a little bit of asymmetrical distortion. And the difference between asymmetrical distortion and normal tube distortion is that each phase of the waveform here that you are distorting is slightly different, giving it an even amount of even and odd overtones, basically saw wave harmonics versus just square wave harmonics like you would get from a normal, tube distortion or any other distortion that has the same algorithm on either side of the phase. So this is going to give this square wave just little saw, overtones, little saw harmonics that are not that noticeable. However, they are, you can see them in the spectrum when I'm playing it. You can see those little overtones in between the big peaks there. That is the even harmonics coming in along with the larger odd harmonics to just overall just richen the sound a little bit. What I'm doing here, I have the drive at 35% and is going down negative 35 with LFO1 here, because when I had distortion going on, like following the pluck sound that I did controlling the octave here, there was just a little bit of weird distorting frequencies down in the low end, and it was a little messy, so I didn't like that. So I just put it down. So when it's doing its little pluck action at the beginning, there is no distortion. It's only when it goes down to the solid lead that sustains, that's when the distortion comes in. And again, there's 35%, so there isn't that much of it. It's just a little bit of distortion there. And finally, you can throw on a reverb. Now, you don't even have to change any of the settings here. All you have to do is just click on the reverb. And the reverb, it just depends on what track you're using. To match what I heard in Virtual Riot's track, I just clicked on the reverb, and that's all you really need for this one. And now, finally, this is the sound that we have. Pair that with a little bit of pitch bend using this pitch bend knob right here. You don't even have to change the numbers. You can just leave it on 2. You can slap the pitch bend on these notes, as you can see right here, if any of you are wondering. And there you have it. It's a very short tutorial today for a very simple but very nice sound. If you like it, smash that like button below. Thank you all so much for watching, and as always, I will see you in the next video. Peace out.